Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another conlang with me. I am here today to talk some more about my conlang madun. Last time we did a conlang with me, I spoke about sort of the idea of the language that I had, what I had done so far. I spoke about the sound system and how it works vaguely. And I spoke about my process for making words, which we will get to see in action a little bit today, because I will probably be making some words today. And I showed a little bit of what I've developed thus far of the grammar, but we're going to need to refine that a bit today. I have some more examples of what words that are functioning like verbs here in my 4 voices. And I talked a bit about my modification last time, but I ran out of time. But here that is. My goal today, what I want to get through, is I want to express in my language 3 sentences. I'm taking 3 sentences and I'm gonna find out or figure out how would my language express those ideas. This is not exactly the same as translating, although I guess I kind of am translating. But through this process, I'm going to pinpoint lexical gaps, because I don't have that many words yet. I have about 146. I don't know why I said about. I know that I have exactly 146 entries in the dictionary. So I don't have a lot of words yet. I don't want a ton of words either, though. So whenever I add something, I want to think about it first. So what I am hoping for is to see what I already have in the language that can help me to translate these ideas into the language. And then we're going to pinpoint where I need to fill in. Let's start with the first sentence, actually. Let's just go in order. So, and if you want a full breakdown of the language so far, for the interest of time, I'm not going to go over all of it again today, but stuff will come up, and I'll try my best to explain it as we go. In case you didn't catch that last time, I'm zooming in quite a bit right now. The first sentence is, Douglas fir trees give homes to animals like birds, squirrels, and bugs. So, what the Douglas fir, all 3 sentences are about Douglas firs. I wanted to keep it on the same topic, because I also want to think about how I'm going to talk about, how I'm going to mark topics. I want to mark topics so that it's easier to do pro drop as you proceed. I want to be able to do that, especially since I don't have pronouns yet. I want to be able to drop them in the meantime. I don't even know if I'm going to have pronouns, or if I'm going to try to find some way around them. We shall see. I guess I should zoom out just a tiny bit so that doesn't keep happening. Okay, so Douglas fir trees give homes to animals like birds, squirrels, and bugs. The first thing I want to identify is, what am I actually trying to say? I think I'm going to need some more, at least one more row between each of these. What idea is getting expressed? So the verb in English, at least, is give. So the trees are giving homes to animals. In English, we use a ditransitive verb like that. And we could do dative shift in English and say give animals homes, but that's not an issue in this language. there are a few ways to think about how I want to translate this sentence. English, in order for Douglas firs to be the topic of the subsequent sentences, especially, to be very clearly the topic, we make it the subject. So Douglas fir trees. What's happening is a little bit different, though. We're giving homes is one way of expressing the relationship that the trees have with the animals. The relationship is one of like a habitat. And I don't know if I have a word for habitat yet, but I have it on my list of words to make. My word making list, which is this, I don't know if it's visible. Let me see if it's visible. Kind of. It's the axe emoji. There are some words here of like words I want to have, and I know a habitat is up here. Oh, I forgot to, since this is that I can hide the row. These are just words I know I want to add. A lot of words for organs that I still need to get to. Organs and organ systems. The only one I have so far is the reproductive system, because I needed it for a sentence I was thinking about earlier. And I might need it for this one too. But yeah, habitat is the third one down on my list. So maybe we will make a word for habitat. But that's sort of like the relationship there, is that for these animals, the trees are a habitat. And so by making firs the subject, we make them the topic, and we say give. The trees are offering something. They're offering all of the parts of them to be a habitat. And that way of putting it kind of gives agency or animacy to the trees. And that's something that I like about this sentence in English. But we could just as easily say animals, like birds, squirrels, and bugs, make their homes or have a habitat or build a habitat in Douglas fir trees. Now, if we were to do that in English, that would make animals the subject. In this language, that doesn't have to necessarily be the case, because I have a topic marker. I made a topic marker between last time and this time. It's O here. And you just put O before the topic. And you could still have a different grammatical subject, but the topic that can then be referred back to in subsequent sentences can be that, as opposed to being the subject. Another way I could do this, I could still have Douglas firs be the subject. And I could have a dative voice, which is one of the ways I express a location is with the dative voice. So I can make it basically like to be where a habitat is, and Douglas fir is the subject still. Now, in the context of the biome that I'm talking about, Douglas firs would be in the Forhi biome. That's the, I mean, they could be in a few different biomes, but Forhi is what I call roughly the biome that I am in, that has a lot of Douglas firs. If we, I guess, like taiga adjacent, cold coniferous forests. Conifers such as Douglas firs. And I guess the niche, or like the role that they have there, is they're plants, sure, they're autotrophs. They provide nutrients. They make their own food. They're producers. But here they're functioning more like a habitat. So I wonder if... I wonder if I could be more specific. I might want to pull out one of my species words. Or like my family words, I guess. They are conifers, so I guess I would go to like gymnosperms, right? It could be either Savida or Arsa. Palestinian Aramaic, or Savida actually comes from the Lashut seed word for Douglas fir, so that's actually kind of fun. So Sabida, I guess, could be my word, because I'm talking about a specific, at least, subset of gymnosperms in this context. I could say in this sort of taiga adjacent biome. So I'm gonna like rephrase how I want to say this. So I want to give context, and that context is going to use the oblique, I think. And that would be like rho 40 would be like, actually, I'm going to put it here. Oblique taiga. So that's like rho 40. Right? And 40 is etymologically related to the word fur, because it's from Old Germanic language. And here we have, we're going to have home. Home is the gloss I'm using for habitat. Home, but it's going to be dative, which I think is an infix. So I'm just going to put a backslash because it's going to be an infix. Home, dative home, gymnosperm. This specific gymnosperm. And so I'll go prox. So I'm using a proximal to make it the so I don't have a word for home yet, so it's gonna be like the I'm gonna need the word for home. Gymnosperms, because it's saying like the gymnosperm is where the animals make a habitat. And so for the animals such as birds and squirrels and bugs. Now this is where my noun morphology can come into play. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. I meant to go to nouns here. So this would probably be like an associative of whatever the animal words are. So I think, so what I'll do is I'll make a list of those three, like the birds, squirrels, and bugs, but I will put them all in the associatives, like birds and things with them, squirrels and things with them, and bugs and things like them, because the associative is like noun and those associated with them and others, basically. It's like et al. Attached to the noun, and this just depends on like the shape that the noun has. So instead of needing to say animals such as, I'll just say birds, squirrels, and bugs. So bugs is generic, birds is also generic. So I'm thinking for squirrels, where am I put a squirrel? Because a squirrel is a granivore. Frugivore, nectivore, granivore. Yeah, and frugivores and granivores tend to live in trees. So I'll say like fruit eaters. Yeah. Yeah, that's just what I'm calling them in the gloss fruit eaters, but it includes all of these. Yeah, anything from bees to turtles, because that's something they have in common, at least, is that they eat like fruits or byproducts of fruits from plants. And then birds. Yeah. I don't know if I want to use a niche one for that. Maybe I'll do... I mean, ants probably live... I mean, I know ants live in furs. I've seen them. Or at least they go on furs. I'm not sure if they live in them, but... yeah, I think I'll say fruiters, and then I might go into like life form specific words. For I think I'll just say like bugs or like hexapods in general. Well, okay, maybe there are centipedes. I'd have to check what bugs they are, probably. Yeah, this language kind of encourages you, while being super vague in some ways, like gymnosperm is extremely vague. In other ways, like I'm encouraged to know what kind of bugs it is. Like a word like bug is very imprecise. And then bird. I have birds split into two groups. I'm gonna probably say it would be Iowa because this is where like the passerine birds are, like birds that live in trees for the most part, would all be included in here. At least for the most part. So yeah, I'll do Iowa. One comes from Quenya. Yeah. Okay. So what am I saying? I'm saying sorry, my sheets are going very slow. I'm saying I'm going to need my indirect case, which is in. And it'll be birds, squirrels, and bugs. I'm actually going to say frugivores. So indirect. Fruit eater. Frugivore, nectivore, granivore. Fruit eater. And... oh wait, and then that's going to be fruit eater, associative, and... oh wait, no, it's everything after the first one. Right, it's everything after the first one, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, I can change how that works. I'm not sure if I like that. The way that my and currently works is it's a suffix. And the way I had originally intended was that would be, it goes on everything after the first member of a list. For example, like basically functioning like que in Latin, like the que suffix. Very few people probably know what I'm talking about, but it would be like fruit eater, I guess bird, that would be like neoaves, and I guess hexapod is what I'll do, and these would all be associative as well. So everything except for the first one is marked, but I think I want to change that. I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to have a distinction between a closed list and an open list, like an inclusive and exclusive list. where I will put the and suffix on everything in a group except the final one instead. So it's kind of like a clitic and that goes onto the prior word. So it'd be for your and, and then if it were a closed group, like the list ends at hexapod, then I don't add and to it. But if the list could include others, then I'd put an and on hexapod as well, and you can imagine it could keep going. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm actually going to leave that note on the and word. I guess there's two places I need to do that. I need to do that here. Actually, I think I want both and or to work like that. So I'll leave a note, and it's attaches to all membered, all. Okay, actually, open group attaches to all needed items. Closed group attaches to all but last item. Same with or. Oops. I guess I'll add it. I'll add it to the dictionary later. I just need it somewhere. Okay, so that's gonna be, because that means that this isn't exclusive, right? It could keep going on the list, but it's not going to. So that would be in, and then gymnosperm was sabida. Oh wait, no, sabida comes here. Prox sabida, o sabida. In dorin ne, right? Dorin ne, I believe, is the associative. So it'd be dorin ne, I weigh, and oh gosh, what was the word for hexapod? I already forgot it. Hexapod was damburi. So it'd be damburi. And then I need to add, echo the final vowel L to all of these. I, L, we, il, tamboril, right? Is that right? I believe I'm using the and correctly. Yeah, sorry, my sheet is running very slowly for some reason. Yes. Yeah, final vowel repeats plus L. Okay. Now, one thing I didn't specify though is it the final vowel of the root or is it the final vowel in the word? Because this ne or e suffix is not part of the root of the word. Damburi would be e, but durin I guess would be e. And then I we it would be an e. I we yel. I could have it only be the last. I could have it be, this is IL, this is EL, and this is IL. I'll only change just one of these. No, I like durine, iwei, and damburi. Oh wait, damburi, il, oh my. Damburil. Damburil. Yeah, because it's damburi. Then you add an I for the associative, and then you add an il for the and there. Oh boy. Yeah, no, that's correct. Tamboril. Really emphasizes that it could be many more things, for sure. So I need my word for habitat now to finish this sentence. So, yeah, how am I going to do this? Sorry, I just wanted to put a bullet in here. Okay, let me go to my word creation page. Okay, I want a word for habitat. So how I do this, it's just the gloss I'm going to use. And I think I explained this last time. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Let's go 100. I basically like different source groups for this. It's a posteriori, so I'm not making any a priori words. I know I got a comment of someone asking me to try doing more of that in this language, but this language isn't meant to be a priori, at least in the lexicon it's not. These are just language groups that I wanted to pull from, and some of them are more specific, but yeah, so I'm going to think what I would like for habitat. And basically what I put is like ideas from the donor languages to pull from as sources. And then I just choose the one that I think sounds the best in the language's phonology. So let me think. Habitat, home. If anyone watching, anyone in the chat has suggestions too, that would be awesome. I definitely listen to that. If you know any languages that would fall into these groups, or another language, because I do have a miscellaneous category for just like if it comes from a random different language, I can also do that. I don't have a lot of words that end with M yet. So there is a part of me that wants to see if I can find a word for M. That ends with M. I could just take from Germanic and have something that's like home. Or I could take from a Slavic language and have it be dom. Dom. I kind of don't hate dom. There's also there's also like Tiberian Hebrew makom, meaning right. It is makom, I think. It's basically means habitat. It's like where you reside. And that would just be makom for me. I think that's what it is in modern Hebrew. I don't know. I don't speak modern Hebrew, so but I think that's what happens to the Q. It just becomes a K sound. Yeah, let me type that. Yeah, so that would be a Semitic language. I mean, I think the Arabic, there's still an Arabic that's related to that, right? Like, maqam. It's like place. I do hear like music people use it too. Sometimes when they talk about Arabic music, it's maqam. Yeah, I'll do maqam. I haven't had a Hebrew loan in a bit. Why are there so many spaces? Okay. And that would be makom. The funny is, I think the root is like QWM, and then like the ma is like a common prefix for a place. In Semitic languages, so it's like the place of. I don't actually remember. Actually, I think Phoenician has the same deal. Place, right? It's been even longer since I've had a Phoenician loan, but it comes out the same. It's makom. It's makom. Yeah, let's do Phoenician. I don't have very many Phoenician loans. Yeah, because it could be from any Semitic language, and it doesn't change it. It doesn't change what it is. I just kind of like the idea of it, taking it from Phoenician. It's just kind of fun. Yeah, and I think so yeah, I'll do makom. Actually, is there any other option? I kind of don't hate dome either. One other thing to think about is that what this would be with a dative in it. So the dative is an M or me infix, and if there's a consonant after where you'd put the M, you assimilate it. So the dative for makom would be the M would turn to an N here, mankom, and it would be pronounced like a velar nasal, but I'm just spelling that with N. So that would be mankom, for like to be where a habitat is, or to be whom a habitat is. Well, to be towards where the habitat is towards, because the dative is kind of ambiguous like that. Or if I have a dome, whenever my sheet wants to respond. Oh, cool. Page is slowing down Firefox. It's my only web page open right now, but okay. Dome. Then the infix, because there's only one syllable, it would be domim, I think. Domim. Do I like mankom or domim for to be where a habitat is? Mankom. Domim. I like mankom. I like mankom here. So I like mankom. Yeah. Let's do the Phoenician word for home, and I think no, it's not home, it's place in Phoenician. And I think it also can mean city, which I guess if you're an animal, it is your city. Wait, no, I'll copy this over. I can remember what all of this is. It's habitat, home. Let's migrate that over. My sheet is going oh so very slowly. I apologize. Okay. Makom. This is area. And these emojis, I just use them to tag what family it is of my donors. And if it's miscellaneous, I just put a globe. I think I explained that last time. Phoenician. And then this is going to be from place, city. This is my 147th word. Okay. So now that I have that word, I can finish the sentence. It would be mankom because it's the dative. Dative voice. Mankom. Oh yeah, I was putting interpuncts after the and clitic, wasn't I? And they'll probably break up the 3 I's here a little bit better. There we go. Yeah. Roforhimankom osavida indurinel aiweil damburil. Yeah. Let's first give home to animals like birds. And what this really means is in coniferous forest, this gymnosperm is where I guess fruit eaters that's what I'm calling them. I guess in the case of the fir tree, I guess it would be more like granivores because they're eating like seeds and stuff. Needles. Okay, come on. Now say like granivores et al. Neoaves et al. Hexapods et al. Etc. It's a lot of and. Make I guess I don't need an and here then. Make their home. I guess for English, yeah. So that's like a very literal translation of what it says here. In the coniferous forest, this gymnosperm is where granivores, neoaves, hexapods, etc. make their homes. All right, yeah. Douglas fir trees give homes to animals like birds, squirrels, and bugs. Yeah. All right. They grow in sunny forests, and their fallen needles help the soil. Okay. They grow in sunny forests. They grow in sunny forests. Grow. All right, grow and help are very vague. Well, grow is not vague, but Help is vague. Do I have a word for grow? Let me see. Production, creation, consumption, absorption. Okay. I don't have a word for grow. Because growing is what they do, right? So, like, just existing, by virtue of living, they grow. So, I guess I would just use their niche as the verb here, yasran, I think is what I would do. Like, it is a plant. It functions as a producer. That's what that is as a verb. In sunny forests. I think it being in the forest has already been established by my prior sentence, because it is in the coniferous forest. I already said that. So I can maybe get rid of the forest part. It's sunny. Oh, I don't have a word for light, do I? I don't think so. Or the sun. Wait, yes I do. I'm pretty sure I do have a word for sun already. Yeah, I'll check, but I'm pretty sure, actually. So I could say in the sunny forest. Okay, this is patientive, so it's going to be... Because they are reproducers. Or I guess, is it agentive? We're not saying what it produces. We're just saying that it is a producer. So I guess I would put it in patientive, because I'm kind of using these two voices as if it's active stative, where a patientive is more like an equative sentence in a sense. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be like Rofurhi. Oh wait, I'm like jumping to the translation part. And then sunny. Yeah, yasran. Okay, so that's oblique, taiga. This would be attributive. Sun. Like, of which sun is the quality. And then I'd have my verb. And that's patientive, producer. And that's the sentence. I guess I could get rid of these brackets too. Their fallen needles help the soil. Okay, actually, let's take a look at the word for sun. I think I actually do have it. Yeah, sun. It's also the word for gold. Yeah. And then the attributive of sun would be, or would this be ornative, like it contains sun? No, because that could also be confused where it contains gold, whereas it's like it is sunny. Like the sun is a quality of it. So I'm going to go with attributive there. So it'd be aria. Aria. Yeah. Roforhi aria yayastran. Roforhi aria yayastran. And their fallen needles help the soil. They provide nutrients for the soil. I guess that's being a producer again, I suppose. I'm not sure how to put that with any of the words I have yet. I have soil. I have... Depends on what I want to call needles. I don't have a word for help. And I don't even think I want to use the word for help. I will want to say what they do to help. But I don't have a word for fall either. I have move, but I don't have down. And fallen is like they've broken off. They've detached. Break was on my list of words to make. Sever, break, which I would also need for cut. Fires and cutting trees can hurt them. They can grow back in open spaces. Yeah, this is a puzzler. I do have two strings that could function as an entire sentence, though. Rofohiman como sabida indurinel aiweil damburil. Roforhi aria yastran. Yeah. It's a lot of eyes. Especially up here, but also here. Aria yastran. Aria yastran. It's a lot. Actually, I don't think that needs to come first. I think I could put that here. Yeah. They grow. Yeah, I'll put that first here. Fallen needles help the soil. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I would even express this with anything in the language or that I would want in the language. I guess it would be enrich. fix nutrients, but I feel like that falls under being a producer there. I guess it would be. And with their needles in the soil. A producer in the sunny forest, and I guess it could be like comma or maybe not comma, and in the earth, in the soil, yeah. Yeah. Earth with the fallen needle. So the needles, the fallen needles can be like a new grammatical subject of to be where one is a producer. Or no, to be how one produces. So to be how one is a producer in this like ecological role. So it would be like Vialis, producer, and then it would be the fallen needles. So it would be needles, fallen, and I'll have to figure out how to say those. But I can say that other stuff. I think it's rotekan, and this Vialis was. So it's Yasran, then it's a U, and then repeat the final consonant. Yasranun, Yasranun, Rotekan Yasranun, fallen needle. Oh yeah, Vialis is a suffix. We have an echo consonant reduplication. How do I want to say fallen and how do I want to say needle? Well, a needle is part of the shoot system of the tree. But that's very vague because like everything, almost everything above the soil is part of the shoot system. I'm gonna have a word for shoot system. I'm gonna have a word for vascular system as well. It's a vascular organ. The needles are the leaves, right? So the needles, I guess they're doing what leaves do, functionally, I believe. If I'm wrong, botanists roast me in the comments. I'd love to get feedback from like ecologists and botanists. It would be really fun to collab with someone who's more knowledgeable than I am on these topics, because I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm trying to learn some more, but I'm also trying to keep it very simple, because my goal is not for this to be like an encyclopedically accurate ecological language. It's just sort of like vibes. Like the vibes of the ecology are what I'm trying to express as I'm learning. So I need to think more about what I want to do with needle. Fallen is a question, though. Fallen is something I should figure out grammatically, because it's a needle which has gone down to the soil, right? So I'm thinking about it's got to be different than how it works in English, because in English, fallen is a past participle. You get passive participle as well, but or sometimes it's called a passive participle. In the case of fall is intransitive, so you can't really make it passive, but it's having fallen, like it fell in the past and now it's fallen. So a fallen needle would be a needle which has gone down, or do I want to emphasize the fact that it has detached from the plant? Yeah, I probably need a verb that would be like shed, like, or like a word that means like shed, and then maybe a separate word that means like to lose part of a body, and that could be things like leaves falling. Maybe it's all one verb. Maybe like shed can cover losing skin, losing like nails or hair or feathers or leaves. I know those are very different, like morphologically very different things, but the verb would just mean like to lose, like to drop parts of the body of the animal without, or the plant or whatever life form it is, without being like permanently damaged, I guess. Like it's not severed in half, is what I'm trying to say. Like it's not like it's fatally wounded. When you lose a hair, you're not fatally wounded. When a tree loses a leaf, it's not like gonna die from that. It's just something that happens. When a snake sheds its skin, or when you lose flakes of skin, that's not you, like, it's not the same as you being destroyed. So I'd want that to be distinct at least. So I'd probably need to say like a needle which has shed, or like been shed, or something like that. And I don't have a way to talk about tense in this language yet, if I'm even going to. I don't think I want to touch tense in this language. I actually really don't want to touch tense. What I would do probably is have like a like a completion. Like maybe it's a perfective versus imperfective sort of thing, where it indicates that the falling is completed, as opposed to something that's ongoing. Because it's only when the falling is completed that the needle can enrich the soil directly. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I'm out of time. So I still need to figure, but I figured out how I'm going to do some things. I changed how I did my coordinating conjunction affixes. And I figured out how I'm going to word this. I just need to figure out specifically how I want to express needles and how I want to express like the concept of them falling off of the tree. I didn't get to this one. This one has even bigger questions, I think, like grammatically. But I'm happy with the progress we made. We were able to do a couple examples, which is something I wanted to do, and that's also something I got a comment about too. It's just something I ran out of time with last time, but I'm glad I have a few now. So thank you for watching, and if you're in the stream, thanks for showing up and participating. If you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment. I'm open to suggestions for future conlang streams as well. So I did take into account, I did get someone saying that they wanted a priori vocabulary. I do plan on doing an a priori conlang pretty soon. So look forward to that. Yeah, if you know more about the like sort of roles of different things in plant and animals, if you know more about biology than I do, which is not a high bar to reach. Feel free to comment and roast everything I've said, and give suggestions. I'm super open to that. Thank you. I hope you have a great rest of whatever time zone you are in, and farewell.